Good morning. This is Karl F. Rose recording from Bedford, Pennsylvania on Monday, Veterans Day, November 11th, 2019. And let's just start off with this here real fast. Okay, let's get into today's podcast. Yesterday, the Buffalo Bills lost to the Cleveland Browns, and although the defense actually did their job, they, as expected, Chubb did run all over them, like I was saying in my pregame show. However, he didn't break the 80-something yard run, taking it to the house like I thought. And the defense, even though they did give up a number of runs or a number of yards to Chubb, they really held up their end of the bargain. It was the offense that didn't. But let's talk about this. They only scored, the final score was 16-19. So there's flaws on every area. All three aspects of the Buffalo Bills team. The special teams messed up. Actually, the one field goal that they missed when Cleveland came back, that would have tied the game, put it into overtime, and the Bills could have won. But that's shoulda, coulda, woulda. But that's one of the bad. Their kicking needs to be improved. He misses short field goals, and that brings me to another point. The offense is just not getting it done in the red zone. They're not scoring the touchdowns. They're attempting the field goals, and their kicker is not that good. And there was overthrows by Josh Allen. He's just not doing it. Singletary. I lay the blame for this loss by the offensive play calling. You're not going to win if you're only scoring 16 points, and 2 of those points was on a safety by the defense. So they did get 2 running touchdowns, which is a plus, but they need to do better play calling. They need to do better set up plays that are more suited for Josh Allen. He's just not getting. He's had the overthrows, the things. So they need to really sit down, develop some plays where he can actually throw the ball and make him comfortable where he can throw the ball and get passes. He was just way off. Third and short, and they're not getting first downs on third and short over and over and over again. You're never going to win games that way. Yes, there were some bad penalties. Again, the rigged NFL system, there were some bad calls, but you just can't lay it all on that. So they did get rigged on a few things. But if they scored more points, they would have won the game, period. So instead of the field goal attempt that was missed, they should have been able to get it in to the touchdown. And instead of having 0 points, they would have had 7. And that would have been the difference. And even when Cleveland came back at the end, they still wouldn't have won the game. So this lies on. I put all the fault on the play calling by the offensive coordinator. Can't think of his name, but there's a lot of people in the Buffalo area who want him out, and I'm starting to see why. He needs a better quarterback coach. There needs to be some coaching changes here, because on both sides of the ball. Because if they're still unable to stop the run, and they still can't run the ball, they are not even going to make the playoffs. Right now, they're on the bubble. They're battling. Pittsburgh's right on their heels, and then Pittsburgh beat the Rams. So Kansas City lost, but Baltimore, Baltimore won again. So now they've got the Patriots and the Ravens above them. They were. This was a critical loss for them, and it should be an eye opener. And I think heads should roll. I think some people need to be fired and replaced, and I'm talking about the offensive coordinator and the quarterback coach. Um, um, yes, Josh, the players have to play better, obviously, but they need to be coached better. If they're not coached any better, how can they play better? So, and this falls on the head coach. The head coach has got to really read these coordinators the riot act. They need to either fix it or get out of town, really. The defense can only hang on to games for so long, and then they get worn down and tired, and that's why Cleveland drove down at the end of the game and won the game. Score more points and you win the game regardless of what happens at the end. That's just the way it works. As I said before, there were bad calls that I think that were obviously favored Cleveland, but it is what it is. Cleveland is not that bad of a team. Cleveland is not a 3-6 team. They've gotten some bum deals throughout the years. Again, the officiating this year is just absolutely horrendous. Even in the Pittsburgh Rams game. I actually wanted the Rams to win, and the Rams got really royally screwed in that game. But that's for that game. I'm talking here about the Bills. But the Bills need to play better, period. And once you start playing better, once you start getting that respect, then the calls are going to go your way. But the thing is, on that subject, it's really pathetic to think that, okay, if you're an upper team, the refs are going to give you better calls and give you an advantage over iffy calls. That's not a way to referee the game at all, ever. And I really think there needs to be a crackdown on the referees, and they need to be held accountable. And if they're blatantly making bad calls, they need to be removed. They need to be removed as a referee, just like a coach needs to be fired if he's not doing his job. It's as plain as that. But the Bills cannot continue on this trend. If they do, they will not make the playoffs, period. It was an absolutely disgusting loss. They outplayed Cleveland. They really outplayed Cleveland. And the defense, I actually have to say, the defense played good. But when you're out there most of the game because your offense can't get first downs, you're going to lose the game every single time. So, anyway, yeah, I'm a little bit upset, and I think that everyone in the Bills community is upset anyway. So, yeah, I think McDermott needs to sit down with some of his coordinators and say, hey, look, we need to develop something, get Josh Allen comfortable, get him in a zone where he feels good, where he can complete his passes, and that's not what they're doing. They're not calling the right plays. He's not comfortable, and he's just not getting it done. And that is his fault. He needs to get out there and play, but he needs to have the calls that they need to set up something where he is comfortable, and they need to run the ball better. I think their blocking, for the most part, is pretty good. He's not getting slammed to down on the turf. As a former Lion fan, I know what that is. Matthew Stafford was out yesterday. That's for another game, but quarterback getting so they're giving him protection. He's just not able to complete the passes, and that's a problem. And that's a problem between him and the quarterback coach, and him and the offensive coordinator. So I just wanted to get this out, and we will talk to you next Monday, and let's hope next week turns out better. And we will do this again, and okay, see you next time.